Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here. Once again, it is time for an arm day. Again, what we're doing here, this is my weakest links. My arms are my weakest link in my physique. So I'm training them separately on Saturday. Most of my muscles get 1 day a week. My arms get 2, right? They do get trained on other days, right? So we do triceps on chest day and we do biceps on back day. But then I also give them their own separate day to where I'm supersetting them back and forth with a bias towards biceps because my triceps are getting a lot of work with all the pressing. So disclaimer today, waistline is, I'm not happy with how it looks. One of the things that happened, I noticed when it gets really cold like this, and particularly early in the mornings like this when it's been really cold, I've noticed it's a little bit looser. I'm just going to live with it. I'm just like, you know what, I'm just going to be shirtless anyways. We're going to have it on camera. Because I feel like overall I'm getting leaner. I'm obviously getting bigger. I feel like my arms are coming up. You guys saw the pictures I put up earlier with the forearm shots. Those are just straight snapshots from this footage. Okay, and it's just normal. It's just one of my iPhones. It's what I recorded on, so there's nothing, no weird lens or anything. It's just what it is. This is a little darker this morning because the sun wasn't up when I started. It wasn't fully up. So again, it's just the way the lighting is on some stuff. But I think it's a combination of that cold. Maybe with my shorts, I probably shouldn't have tied that band or whatever. I don't know. But the waistline, I was unhappy with it today. But it's been tighter recently. So that's been the interesting thing. It really fluctuates a lot day to day with different stuff happening. And I've noticed certain things in my diet affect it. But the thing that we have to remember, it's loose skin with fat in it from having been over 300 pounds previously. As I lose body fat, it's getting tighter. And like we have some days to where it's almost gone. So I just have to accept what the reality is. If we just keep getting leaner, it's going to tighten up more and more. We just keep losing the fat. That fasted cardio, I feel like, is adding up. All right, we progressively overloaded on this, though. So with the curls, I want to note, I was doing sets of 12 to 13 with 65, and then I started ramping it up. I got 75 for 10s last week, and this was 85. Now, were they harder? Could you tell I was really struggling with those final reps, having to pause a little, all of that? Yes, but the bicep pump was intense. I was super happy with it. I felt the bicep work on those. So the main thing is taking them through that full range of motion. So that's going to be the name of the game with a lot of these movements, is trying to get that full range of motion for the biceps. So I'm really trying to focus on that as much as possible. Same thing here with the tricep work. So focusing on 2 extensions, and I'm doing press downs, and I'm debating if I need the press downs because sometimes I feel like they're almost beating me up. So I almost feel like maybe I should just do 2 types of extensions, have them on the same day as the day and then my pressing day also. It seems to work well because even then I'm sitting here going, do I even need all this band work? 12 sets of serious tricep extensions with the amount of pressing volume I'm doing and pullovers and everything is probably more than enough. That's really actually quite high volume for isolation on a tricep, considering I do a lot of pressing, guys. I'm doing a lot of pressing. Like we're doing 12, 13, 14 sets of compound movements for those triceps every week with big weights on a lot of it. So again, I might only need that. Biceps need more because biceps really are truly a weak link for me due to all those years of powerlifting. But I've close grip benched 365. I mean, I'm looking at what I'm doing with some of these extensions. I'm in a good place. If I just progressively overload these, I feel like my triceps, they're starting to come up. When I saw the screenshots of the forearm poses today compared to even, a month or 2 ago, my triceps, I feel like they've gotten bigger. Okay, so we're making progress. Rear delts even look bigger. So at this point, biceps. I mean, we want triceps, but I do have to go, it's 12 sets or so, 12 really hard sets of extensions, probably more than enough. Okay, probably more than enough to keep my triceps growing, considering we're getting PRs on some of the presses, the inclines and other stuff. All right, so biceps in the same theme, I went ahead and I did for my next movement. Again, these are my less strict stuff. There you can see what I'm talking about with that flank area. It's just is what it is. Worst day I've seen for it in weeks, but I've upped my cardio. My carbs are lower. The scale is down today. I'm back down at 210. So again, we know it's going to tighten up. It's going to accept that it's going to vary day to day. It's going to vary day to day. So what I did with those, I went heavy on those, and the same thing. It's slightly loose. They're still pretty strict. But again, I wanted that full range of motion. Like, let's take the dumbbells on the biceps and let's start with that hammer grip. Here's one of the functions. Bring it all the way up to the face. Okay, bring it all the way up to the face. So why? What's the deal there? Fullest range of motion for the bicep, because then I can go super strict on preacher. So even if we want to say, well, you're a little loose on some of that, it's not crazy strict on the 2 standing exercises, but it's still, the biceps are taking pretty much all the work. Like, they were throbbing. Like, my biceps actually hurt after every set of the barbell and the dumbbell. The biceps, my biceps actually hurt. So we know that we're getting some good work. And I mean, look at the full range of motion, right? We're getting full range of motion. I've got decent control coming back down. So again, going from that pronated to a supine grip all the way up to the face. And then on the preacher curls, we're getting crazy strict. So there's no cheating on those, and we're pausing at the bottom in the deepest stretch position. So we're making sure that we're getting that. We're making sure we're getting that. So then with these extensions, I'm looking at a lot of it going, do I even need the behind the head? Do I need the incline? I don't know that I do, guys. I just need to work the whole tricep, okay? The whole tricep. And any sort of laying extension is going to do that, especially if we're getting behind the head with it, not just like a normal skull crusher down to the face. Well, these are a little similar. So we're getting 2 slightly different angles on a flat. So we've got the barbell, which I'm going behind the head, and then that. Again, those light my triceps up really well. They're lighting them up really well. So pretty happy with that. Feeling the tricep activation, which is one reason I went with the laying. As much as I do like the inclines and other stuff, I feel my whole tricep a lot on those barbell extensions. And then the dumbbells are a good finisher. Right, they're a good finisher. So I ended up doing, though, you'll see the press downs coming in too. I don't know that I need the press downs at this point in the game. I feel like just all the laying extensions with both barbell and dumbbell probably will get everything done very effectively. Again, if we start extrapolating the volume out, I could just do 3 sets of these both workouts. Gives me 12 sets of isolation plus all that pressing. Again, keeping in mind, we're doing rep work with 300 plus on the bench, right? You saw, you guys were watching me, I did a double of 275 on the pause incline. So that's coming up. The other day I did 225 for 10 on the pause incline. So again, we're getting a lot of pressing work in. So we just need to isolate from there. All right, preacher curls, I stepped up to the 1 set to 70 pounds, right? I've been doing lighter, and I'd gotten 15s and brought it down. I got 12s or whatever. And then I'm like, okay, I really want to focus on trying to get a stretch at the bottom. So notice most of these were bringing it to a stop. We're trying to get that stretch. Went with a heavier weight. The 10s were really hard. I was hoping I wouldn't drop down to 8 reps, but I guess my biceps have gotten stronger. But notice the shoulders there. All right, notice the shoulders there, and I notice it's the same thing. We can see my side delt, we can see my rear delt finally starting to grow. But we're isolating all of it, aren't we? Aren't we? So we're doing for isolations and other stuff. We're making sure the side delt gets 2 exercises every week, the rear delt gets 2 exercises. I'm doing front raises and stuff too, in addition to all the overhead pressing. But those went well. The press downs just took all these sets to failure. This is a heavier band tension. But I'm also looking at these going, I don't know that I need the press downs anymore. I feel like the extensions are going to get the job done, especially twice a week. But curls. We've got to bring up the biceps. Have to bring up the biceps. So the preacher curls, this is my super strict exercise. We can be a little bit loose, slightly loose on the barbell and the dumbbells, as long as we take them through the full range of motion and take them to failure or close to, which we did. All right, these, again, you'll notice on the preachers, I'm struggling those final reps, right? Coming to that pause, coming to a stop. And then you see me just like straining. It's like, oh man. And then that's failure. I just stuck right there. I'm like, oh, I can't do a rep. in the last set, the third set, I almost can't even get the 10th rep. It's just like a grind, and then I lower it slow. Knew I was done. So again, hammering the biceps more, right? Hammering the biceps more. Right, these press downs, again, just taking them to failure. I can't even lock them anymore at a certain point. All right, preacher curls. This is the final set. This is for my money, right? This is the money set. I almost couldn't even get the 10 reps. I'm surprised I got it. Like, it was one of those where I went to lift it. I'm like, this is not going to move, but it moved. So again, making sure the biceps are getting hammered. Now, keeping in mind, we did 12 sets of barbell and dumbbell total on back day this week. Okay, so I did 12 sets for back, and then we did 12 sets for biceps after, and that was on Tuesday. So again, this is not my full biceps. This is half of my bicep work for the week. So we're doubling down on that. Plus, I think some of the pulling, as I get stronger at it too, is going to carry over a little. I think I'm going to start strapping up on the barbell rows just like I do on the shrugs, right? And then I'm just going to freehand the other 3 back exercises, the pull-ups, the sealed rows, the dumbbell rows. So I still get grip training from those. The press downs, there's a point here where you can tell I can't even lock them. It's just failure. So then I can still do the partials, and I'm just burning it in that lengthened position. All right, these, I only put a few of the sets, like 4 or 5 of the sets in here. Why? Because it's too many. Like, this still takes the vlog to like 14 minutes. We don't need every single last set of this, especially just band work. Some of these, though, I didn't like how they looked. Like, I'm watching them, I'm like, man, they're almost turning into partials when I looked at the footage. So the last 2 sets, which you guys will see on camera, the last 2 sets, I take them through full range of motion under control to make sure. And I think I need to remember to do that. Not just try to pump through it, because I'm just trying to just pump it at that point. I'm like, no, they need to be quality. They need to be quality. Right? So the last couple sets, I really focused on that when I saw the footage, but there's where I'm at. There's the forearm shot. So on that, I decided to up the weight. You know, I'm kind of like, I've been stuck at weight. Let me put 205 on. I only got 2 sets of 6. I'm like, this is too heavy. It's too heavy for the forearms. So the final set, I dropped back down to 135, and I got over 20 reps to failure. But here, yeah, again, you can kind of see I really need to get a little better contraction at the top, but I'm looking thick there, right? We're looking thick, solid, tight. So in those poses, you know, again, once the sun is coming up a little bit and I'm walking back towards the camera, and I feel like once I'm getting a full pump, it feels almost like that everything's tightening up, even around the waist. It's kind of funny how that worked. But again, here, you guys can see where the upper body is. I noticed you can see my rear delts there now. You guys notice that? So I think all that side and rear delt work is paying off. But right here, this is an example of a set where I'm like, this is a subpar set. Yeah, it pumped, but I'm not getting that contraction I really want. I'm not locking it fully. This is just a mid-range, and I don't need that. I really do need it to be full range of motion, even if it's bands. Okay, so then here's the final set of wrist curls, and I skipped extensions. I'm like, I'm getting so much pulling work that's hammering my extensions, plus I'm feeling on stuff like the dumbbell curls big time. I'm feeling all that. I'm feeling it on all the rowing. So really, if I'm going to do any direct forearm, at a minimum, I need to do the wrist curls. Because you look at that meaty part down there, that really needs more thickness. I feel like even the top of my forearm looks really good at certain angles. But if I'm going to get it really thicker, right, I definitely need to continue to bring that part up, that meatier part of the forearm, right? We need to continue to work on that. So it needs some work every week, no matter what. We're trying to isolate everything. We isolate calves, neck, rear delts, everything. Everything is getting isolated, right? Quads, hamstrings, you know. If we count a glute ham raise as a hamstring isolation. But here we go, these last 2 sets. This is really what I need. So these 2 sets, this is quality. This is what I need to be doing. But again, once the waistline's tighter, look at how I'm looking there coming towards the camera. Everything's thick, everything's full. I'm not using anything that should make me full. And I'm on really low carbs and fasted. So we're doing good there to look that full up top. I just have to keep tightening the waistline up. So at this point, if I drop another, 10 pounds of body fat over time, I think we'll be in a good spot.